Hey friends, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie if you're new here, and today we're going to be looking at my top picks for Sagittarius season. Now, I love this Zodiac series that we're doing on my channel, even though this is only like the third installment. It's just so fun for me to kind of get into the headspace of each element and each sign. And especially for Sagittarius, it's like one of my favorite signs where if I wasn't a Libra, I wish that I was a Sagittarius. So it was a little bit hard to go through my collection because I feel like this seems very one note because it's a lot of purple, but hopefully you will enjoy my reasonings because I still completely stand by all of my picks. So let's just get into the swatches. So the first shade that I chose is ILNP's Last Call from their recent New Year's Eve collection. Sagittarius are such fun signs. Like, I think they're the best signs to go out with for a good time, but oh my god, they also can stay out way past anyone else. It's honestly kind of impressive. So when I first saw this shade and the name, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so perfect for Sagittarius season, especially with all like the holiday parties and again, just like going out for New Year's Eve. They are gonna be the last ones and definitely like one more round. So I also kind of like this shade because I thought the blue flash that you see kind of reminds me of their birthstone Tanzanite, so that's another plus. The next shade I thought of in a similar vein was Cirque's Night Fever from their Discotheque collection earlier this year. So this one is more of a purple jelly with a multi-chrome shimmer that's primarily this bright aqua shade that reminds me of their other birthstone and probably the more popular one, Zircon. And there's a scattered hollow flaky in there too. So I don't know how to explain it, but this polish reminds me of the makeup worn by the actresses in Euphoria, where it's like shimmery and glittery and also kind of messy, like when it starts to smudge after dancing all night. So it just gives me Sagittarius energy, but in the best way possible. Now, formula-wise, this one is a little bit sheer and not really difficult to work with, but, you know, you're gonna need like 3 coats to make it fully opaque. But with these shimmers from Cirque, I always talk about this, how they're my favorite formula that Cirque has, because I just use the sheerness to my advantage and will do these kind of like quick gradient, dry brush type of watercolor looks, which also kind of remind me of that smudged glittery makeup. So all in all, if I was a Sagittarius, this would be like my color. Next up, I chose Mooncat's Queen of Chaos. So if it isn't obvious by now, purple is the Sagittarius color, which was so interesting to me because purple is also the color of spirituality. So you'd think that after the last 2 shades, that must be kind of weird since I was talking about Sagittarius being this super fun, you know, going out all the time kind of sign. And I would kind of argue that that's what they're known for. But Sagittarius are actually the philosophers of the Zodiac. They're always super curious and searching for adventure. They're the biggest travelers of the Zodiac too. And I think they definitely toe the line of living a life of adventure where they can just drop what they're doing and get on a plane with no plan whatsoever. So if that doesn't scream Queen of Chaos, I don't know what does. But I really love having a solid purple cream option for anyone who doesn't want some glitter. But I don't know, to me, Sagittarius are a very glittery sign. Now back to the playful tongue-in-cheek aspect, the next shade that I had to include was Mooncat's Kiss My Asteroid. Sadly, this one was discontinued, but I mainly picked it for the name since it pretty much captures Sagittarius's no fucks given kind of attitude. They can definitely be stubborn, like a chunky glitter without a peel-off base coat, but I still really admire the fact that they stay true to themselves no matter what. The other reason I chose this shade was because the blue kind of reminded me of their birthstone tanzanite, which I mentioned before, and it's just a shame that this one was discontinued. I don't know why. I'm guessing it just didn't sell that well or something, but it is just such a beautiful, like, indigo midnight blue glitter. So hopefully Mooncat will bring something similar back because it is just so stunning. And the last shade that I chose is Holo Taco's Love Spell, which might seem so out of place being the only bright red, but Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign, which means it's the most flexible in a way, kind of going back to how they travel and want to learn and grow from their experiences. To me, that energy can be translated well through a magnetic polish that seems to mutate right before our eyes. And of course, I had to go with red for their bright and energetic, fiery nature. So funny enough, I was having a little bit of an issue doing the velvet effect with this polish. So I thought that was also somehow very fitting, where it's like a Sagittarius where you just sometimes don't know what to expect from them. But I tried to make it work, and after playing with the magnet for a little bit, it gave me a pretty decent effect. You know, not exactly what I was hoping for, but it was good enough to capture what I was envisioning for this polish. The other reason that I also like this shade is for the name, because I personally find Sagittarius is so charming, so I feel like it's just so easy to fall in love with them. So that wraps up my favorites for Sagittarius season. So as always, I'd love to know what your thoughts are, whether you're a Sagittarius or not, because I know, again, that this is very purple heavy, and I've admitted this before in either my Scorpio video or Libra video that I can be pretty generic and basic and lean very heavily into the general characterizations of each sign. So I'm sorry if any Sagittarius out there hate the color purple and are just like, oh my god, we're more than just this one color. But I still really do stand by all of these picks, whether it is for the color or also just the name and what they like symbolize to me. So I hope you enjoyed it either way. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.